that completely changed everything for me, and I'm so happy I lost in Sarigama and I took my music seriously. Then I was ready. Completely, I surrendered myself to this journey.
How did you start your career as? And I tell them I started my career as a confused person.
मुझे मिलता था प्राइज and I was very upset.
So I just wrote today that I don't listen to my own songs because there is no mystery about it. I know what they are. I love listening to songs by others because they still provide that gateway to mystery.
नमस्कार हमारे सब श्रोताओं को और हमसिका जी को, कौशल जी को
नमस्ते।
आज के हमारे बहुत ही बढ़िया गेस्ट हैं। तो मैं एक एक को इंट्रोड्यूस करता हूँ। लेडीज फर्स्ट। मैं पढ़ना चाहूंगा, ठीक है? तो हमसिका जी वो प्लेबैक सिंगर रही है चमक छल्लो रेडियो की 1 2 3 4 गेट ऑन द डांस फ्लोर, फिर राब्ता, चंदा से फ्रॉम एकलव्य, मनचिंबा, इज दैट
मनचिंबा पावसारी,
मनचिंबा पावसारे वाह। She's also a world music artist too, having had the chance to work with international psychedelic band Juno Reactor, worked with the Bombay Dub Orchestra, Prem Joshua, and more recently with the renowned world music producer Talveen Singh. And it's really wonderful to have you today. आपका स्वागत है हमसिका जी। और साथ में है कौशल इनामदार जी। He's a prolific music composer from Mumbai, and he's been composing for film, TV shows, events, advertising jingles for over 15 years. तो आपने उनकी आवाज भी सुनी होंगी, आप अपने दोनों गेस्ट की। His music for the Marathi film Bal Gandharva was much appreciated by masses and critics also. It's very difficult to please the critics, but he does that job quite well. His ambitious project, the Marathi Abhiman Geet, an ode to the mother tongue, has touched the hearts of millions of people around the globe. Okay. So wonderful to have you, Kaushal ji. Welcome.
Same here. Thank you so much for inviting us.
आज की ये बातचीत की शुरुआत हमारा पहला ये रहता है कि कुछ अब तक की हमारी जो यात्रा रही है यहाँ तक पहुंचने की, वो कैसी रही है?
माय जर्नी, मेरे पिताजी मेरे गुरु रहे हैं, एंड you know, I've grown up learning Carnatic music that runs in the family, and मेरे पिताजी simultaneously made sure that I also learn Hindustani music because कर्नाटिक रेंज के लिए बचपन में लाइक माय रेंज वाज वेरी हाई, सो कभी भी मेरे साथ कभी कोई त्यागराजा उत्सव हो या कहीं भी ऐसे फेस्टिवल्स हो, कभी भी कोई मृदंगिस्ट नहीं मिलता था एंड वायलिनिस्ट नहीं मिलते थे बिकॉज माई स्केल वॉज हाई. सो मैं हमेशा त्यागराजा उत्सव में आई वॉज द लास्ट पार्टिसिपेंट टू गो ऑन स्टेज विद द सुरकापेटी. आई विल सिंग and I will return home. ऐसा ही होता था. And then mom and dad realized that since my range is high, naturally high, I think we should also encourage her to learn Hindustani or light classical music. जो भी हो. Very very encouraging parents I had. And but what happened, school days में मेरा passion was sports. Music was always there, but I was more into sports because I grew up with 2 elder brothers, so all the time playing cricket and football. And म्यूजिक रहा है, मैं घर पे सीखती थी, यस अर्ली मॉर्निंग, यू नो, वो सब चल रहा था. आई थिंक एट दैट पॉइंट इन टाइम माय मॉम स्टार्टेड वरीइंग दैट इसका म्यूजिक का क्या होने वाला है. if we don't, you know, थोड़ा सा स्ट्रिक्ट नहीं हो जाए तो then she will.
What if she becomes a football player for Mohan? I believe Dinesh ji is also a football enthusiast.
Yes. In school I played एवरी सिंगल स्पोर्ट. इनफैक्ट आईआईटी में
या
फर्स्ट ईयर में वो
हाँ
स्पोर्ट्स में कुछ जीतते थे तो एक ट्रीट मिलता था हमारे
हाँ
कैंटीन में. तो सब
ओके
स्पोर्ट्स के ट्रीट्स मैं लेता
हाँ
था.
सच में I was more into sprints like athlete. I was a fantastic
हाँ.
athlete and shot put and everything, throw ball जो भी बोलो सब anything other than studies I was interested. So which is why I was half the time away from home, sports, playing. तो ये चल रहा था and later on कॉलेज में जब आई मैं तो I don't know how, even till date I don't know how this happened. Automatically music took over. I think my mom must have given something in the food. तो मेरे को इसलिए I conveniently for ditched sports and music धीरे धीरे played a very important role in my
You
life.
should ask your mom what recipe, because other moms would like to know क्या डालने से क्या होता है.
Anyway, फिर भी I have always been a very happy go lucky person and yes मेरे घर में हमेशा म्यूजिक रहा है like classical हो या film songs हो because my father has always been an ardent lover of film music also. And
And he was also in HMV.
yeah, he was, yes, shuru mein, yes, thank you.
Mhm.
He was his early 1965 to 67, 68 Calcutta mein. He was with HMV and then slowly he came to Bombay and has always been associated with advertising industry. So creative, head of language departments in Chaitra Leo Burnett, Clarion and all that. So very good writer, Tamil writer, and he encouraged my mom a lot because he saw that talent in her and she was also groomed to, become a very good writer in Tamil. So जितना मेरे घर पे ट्रेडिशनल एक डिसिप्लिन रहा है उतना ही very very open mind and very you know wonderful modern upbringing bhi raha hai. So after, during my I think soon after or soon after my college there was 1995 में TVS सारेगामा का announcement हुआ था. तभी everyone in my family and my friends and all they say hey Amsika did you hear that अभी कुछ टीवी में आया है कुछ ऐसे ऑडिशन के लिए बुला रहे हैं why don't you take part and I don't know why all my life I have been a little shy when it came to music always. मैंने I used to feel नहीं यार नहीं. In fact school में it's very funny school days में when teachers discovered that oh this girl also sings apart from music apart from sports. So they started sending me for inter-school competitions and मुझे मिलता था prize and I was very upset that shit मुझे मिला first prize. Yeah, I would come back to the principal's room and I would go to her and say please I want you to do me a favor. She said yeah बच्चा बोलिए what happened. So I would directly like fall at her feet and she was very confused and she was actually very happy. अरे जीते रहो. I used to tell her, ma'am, please don't make any announcement in the school that I have won the first prize. Please don't. तो ऐसा सब हुआ है. But sports में नहीं. I was very very happy. Sports every year I would win so many certificates. So वैसा रहा है. And सारेगामा. Coming to Saregama, I was like pushed to go for an audition in Saregama, and I went there very confident that I will be kicked out. Very confident. So I went there and I was shocked that I got selected for the season. तो फर्स्ट राउंड में आदेश श्रीवास्तव जी आए थे. Every time I used to think I will lose and I'll be हाँ घर पे जाके ये मैच है उधर जाके ये खेलना है वो हो रहा था मेरे दिमाग में वो प्लानिंग. तो that first round I cleared and second semi-final में हरिहरन जी आए थे to judge and that also I cleared, and I was crying. I called up my mom. तभी तो mobile कुछ नहीं था. So I called up from a PCO, and she was so happy. Yeah, I'm so happy to hear you have gone to the final. I said, what are you happy about? I don't know any more songs. I only know Uthe Sabke Kadam. I know two or three more songs in life. Meaning ऐसा बैठ के सीखा नहीं, कभी नहीं सीखा. I've heard all the songs, but if you're going for a competition, वो एक seriousness होता है. Learn a song well, and and then you have to, there is a presentation also, कुछ नहीं था तभी दिमाग में. So I was very upset. I started crying. I said, Amma, because of you, because of all my cousins and everyone, I've reached the final. What am I supposed to do? Which song am I supposed to sing? कुछ नहीं मेरे पास. तो Khayyam Saab came. हाँ, for the finals. I am so happy I lost. I'm happy I lost because that was the day I took my music seriously. I was not upset that I've lost. No. I'm very happy I lost because after I came back home, I asked myself that I must be having something in me to reach this far. I must be having something in me that my parents, that my friends, my brothers, my relatives trusted in me, and I didn't see it. So that completely changed everything for me, and I'm so happy I lost in Sarigama. Yeah, and I took my music seriously. Then I was ready. Completely, I surrendered myself to this journey of music, and dhire, I knocked the doors of advertising industry. And usi journey mein, when I was traveling, trying to find myself, trying to learn, every work in the studio teaches you, always teaches you something. So बहुत अच्छा रहा ये journey तभी, and that was the time, around that time, after 4-5 years of 1995 से, when I came around 2000 onwards, I started knocking the door of advertising industry, and around that time I met Kaushal Inamdar, and वहाँ से और एक beautiful journey शुरू हुआ, and वैसे I will tell more, but बहुत है, I will say more, but इतना तक मैं बताती हूँ later on.
What a wonderful statement, but I'm so happy I lost because nowadays it's all competitions, no? And if somebody loses in a competition, that's it, they are finished, they are depressed, and
yes, it's very scary.
But to take this different attitude, I'm happy I lost because it brought me seriousness in my music. It inspired me, to take it further. Wonderful.
Yes, and also, Dinesh ji, I think bachpan se I have been a sports person. So bachpan se I have seen defeat also. So when you take part, in activities, वो चाहे music हो या sports हो या कोई भी, जो भी हो, my parents have always told me, Hamsi, doesn't matter if you win or lose. Participation is what that counts. No problem. So you're used to failing also. You're used to failures. So that's very important, aspect of growing up, I think so.
Wonderful, wonderful. I usually tell youngsters, that make failures your friends because they're going to take you to success. Kaushalji, would you like to share about you are a writer, a poet, as well as a music composer, would you share about your journey being here?
Yeah, see, it's similar. Like Hamsika, everybody asks me how did you start your career as, and I tell them I started my career as a confused person. Because I was a jack of all trades, there were many ways I could go. So every year in college, I used to change my ambition. When I came to college, I wanted to very seriously join politics and become the Prime Minister of India.
Wow!
Yeah.
It's not too late.
Why have a goal which is any less?
Absolutely.
So every year I used to change what I want to be, because lot of things fascinated me. It's like, you know, the world is so big and so colorful, and so that every time. So there was a time after I became a music composer also, I used to feel, when I used to listen to good compositions of other music composers, contemporary music composers, I used to feel a little bit of good envy, I call it.
Ah.
Why couldn't I think of this? And then
Hmm.
even that stage passed, and now I think that somebody thought of it is a good thing.
Wow.
Not everything I have to think.
Correct.
But becoming a writer or even a music composer was not a career option for me. It was a way of understanding life. So, you know, for example, our peers, or even the senior music composers in Marathi, they used to say that unless you understand the poetry that you are going to set tune to, don't compose unless you start understanding it. Okay, now on the surface, it's a very good advice that don't compose unless you understand. But then I came across poetry of poets, and very mysterious poets like Grace in Marathi, or Basi Mardekar, and it fascinated me because I couldn't understand. Now, if I can't understand, then how am I going to compose it? Because the seniors have, you know, clearly said that don't compose unless you understand. So I said, now let's disregard the advice of seniors and let's start composing. And then I got an epiphany that when I sing a song or when I compose it, that's my way of understanding it.
Wow.
So you don't say don't breathe until you understand life, right? Or don't enter water unless you learn swimming.
Yeah.
Entering water, jumping into water is how you will learn.
Yes.
So that's what made me. It started off with poetry, that I wanted to understand it. So I composed it, because singing is such a sublime language. Music is such a sublime language that there is an entire world beyond meaning. And music opened that world for me. It was like entering Ali Baba's cave, you know, and music was at Khulja Sim Sim. So I just entered that there was a world of sound. There was a world of extremely subtle sensations or emotions, and music opened that world for me. So even if you read my bio on Facebook or Twitter, I don't say I am a composer. I say I am a storyteller in a guise of a composer.
Wow.
Because, you know, if you ask people what is India, then they will say India is a land of mountains and rivers, or they'll say India is a land of tigers and elephants, or they'll say India is a land of wise men, or university in diversity. But if you ask me, India is a land of stories and songs.
Yes.
To tell a story in a song is our national character. It's not a coincidence that the highest or the most followed philosophy in our land is called the Bhagavad Gita.
True.
I don't think it's a coincidence at all. We are a nation of singers. Even our mathematics is taught in poetry and music. What else do you want?
Even Ayurveda, everything has chanda and
It's
music
got
and rhythm
chanda.
to
Yeah,
it.
yeah. That's so. It for me, it was more of discovering myself. So, and then whatever, because I had chosen it as a career, so whatever came across in my way, I just took it. And like Hamsika, you know, I was never I was never a winner. So in a competition, I didn't win because I tried out new things. Because I think a competition is the best stage to fail. Life does not give you an opportunity to fail, but competitions do give you. And that word participant is a beautiful word because it's a part. You are always a part. Even if you are a winner, you will never become the whole. You will always remain a part, and you will
Wow.
need losers if you have to win.
Yes.
So you should be indebted to them. If you win, you have to be indebted to your losers because they are giving you an opportunity to win.
Yes.
And this winning, losing, all equation is so temporary and it changes every second. One moment you are a loser and you feel that there is nothing else that life offers, and the next moment you feel on the top of the world. It's like when I compose a song, the next 15 minutes after you compose a song are the best ones because you feel that you have achieved something that is close to perfection. After 15 minutes, then you realize that because you have gone a little higher, you can see even more area that comes under your vision. So you know that there is more to achieve. And the 15 minutes after you compose a song are the best. Then after that 15 minutes, then that whole thing sets in, and then you say that no. So I just wrote today that I don't listen to my own songs because there is no mystery about it. I know what they are. I love listening to songs by others because they still provide that gateway to mystery. So that's my journey. It's not like this happened and that happened. Otherwise, I would have written a biography.
But it's so amazing how, you know, what you're doing molds the philosophy of our life. I mean, such amazing knowledge you gave in that, both of you.
Like Oscar Wilde says that only the dead and the fools are consistent. So tomorrow maybe I change my opinions. I don't know. But today this whole thing of not knowing anything is fascinating.
Uncertainty, that is a beauty.
Yes. True. You know, you talked about how Bhagavad Gita and the storytelling happened through songs. I remember childhood days when we used to go to our village grandfather's place, grandparents' place in Vadala near Solapur. So in the night we would sleep on top of the terrace, you know. It's summer time, and you know, and on the loudspeaker in the village, they would have all these pavadas coming up and you know, stories of Shivaji through songs. You know? And like you said, that has been the culture, that has been human throughout human history. Storytelling has happened through song, the bards, and you know, that's wonderful.
It's nice, you know. I when you were speaking about your grandparents and how you used to go, my grandfather was, his story is very interesting. He was a musician and he played in the 1932 talkie Ayodhya Sa Raza in Marathi. That was the first Marathi talkie. Came out in the same year as Alamara by V. Shantaram. And there at that time there were only 3 musicians, in a song, because the music would be live. There was no recording or playback or anything. So he played in that movie. And then he felt that he used to play the violin. So he felt that this violin comes from the West, so I should go there and learn. So whatever money he got out of that film, he spent on buying a ticket to London. At that time, there was no air travel as such. So by ship, it used to take 14 days. Now, as luck would have it, when he boarded that ship, there was a Italian composer and a conductor called Federico Mariano on that ship. And he heard my grandfather practice in his cabin. Now the music was Indian, so it was unfamiliar to him, but the sound of the violin was familiar. So he knocked on the door and he asked him, "What are you doing?" He said, "I am practicing the violin. I am going to London to learn Western music." So he said, "Where are you going to stay?" So my grandfather said, "I don't know." "Who are you going to live with?" He said, "I don't know." "Who are you going to learn with?" He said, "I don't know." So Mariano told him, "Why don't you come with me to Italy? And I'll teach you Western music, you teach me Indian music." Now my grandfather went.
Wow.
Oh, this is fantastic story that he went to
Yeah.
England. Yeah, he went to Italy in a small village called Ventimiglia, and he learned for 6 months. Now he also performed in Europe, and his name was so familiar at that time that he performed everywhere in Europe. Even Mussolini, who was ruling Italy at that time,
Wow.
heard of him. So he called my grandfather to Naples and gave him a time of 10 minutes. Now I read in a book, because my grandfather was very quiet, he did not speak much, but this was documented by a Marathi author, Bhada Kher, and he wrote in his book that 10-minute meeting went for 45 minutes.
Wow.
Where my grandfather played Marathi Natya Sangeet for Mussolini on the violin.
क्या बात है?
Yeah, it didn't have any effect on Mussolini and the Second World War. But my grandfather returned and he had insomnia. So he did not sleep at night. And when we used to go in to his place in the summers, he used to play the whole night.
Wow.
So when I slept, he was playing something like Jhinjhoti or Malkaons or something like that. And when we used to wake up, he was still playing the Bhairavi or the Lalit. So there is so much violin that I have heard in my sleep that even
In
today
your
sometimes I
subconscious,
wake up yeah, and I very clearly hear those notes. That's amazing.
Wow,
That's how
amazing.
music is ingrained. I think it happens in most of the Indian families.
Yeah.
What a story, but okay.
Yes.
So, Kaushalji,
Yeah.
you also, I mean, you are all of this, a poet, a writer, and you storyteller. You tell stories through your music. How how feasible it is as a profession? When you have to advise young people.
I think it's a very feasible as a profession.
Okay.
And there is a lot you can do because of the internet. There is a democratization of music. It's not that people will listen. Now there is a lot of talk about nepotism and the
Right.
music mafia, and I wrote an article about it. It's there in English on my blog. I wrote it in Marathi for Maharashtra Times. That this has always been there, and in a way today times are good for young musicians, because if there is nobody, they can go straight to the listener. This was not there when I started or embarked on my career. There was always a middleman who decided what I should make, what music I should make, and what music people should listen. So now there are a lot of opportunities in many different fields, and it's not just earlier there was only film music, so it's not there anymore. There is television, there is the internet, the web series. You can just sing on the internet and you can become famous and earn money. So
yes,
it's, as a profession, it's more feasible now than it has been any time in history. So I feel that if people are going to come here, they should definitely join. And there is a scope for all types of music. It's not just one type of music and one school of music.
right.
The whole I'll tell you the challenge also here. It's not all, it's never a rosy picture. so you have to be aware of the challenges. First is that there will always, because there is democratization of music. What happens if there is spring or there are rains after the monsoon? There will be a lot of flowering, and there will be a lot of green trees, but there will also be a lot of Congress grass.
Yes.
So and that will be much more. So there is a chance of getting lost in all the glitter. So you see that there are a lot of competitions, and people come, and everybody is keen to get that. I just heard that word, spotlight, for that 15 minutes.
That's right.
Everybody is up for their 15 minutes of fame, but that is not life. So once you realize that, then there is a huge scope of various opportunities that you can. So I have seen a lot of singers or musicians who are still struggling for that 15 minutes of fame. But fame is, I'll tell you, it's like when sages used to do their penance, hoping for a boon from Shiva or Vishnu. There was a time when that Apsara came to disturb that penance. Fame is like that. Fame is like that Apsara. She will come. Even for her to come, you will have to, put in that hard work, and that
tapasya,
penance, that tapasya will have to go in there. But she is not the end. She's just that part of the disturbance. So you have to realize that, and then that nirvana or that moksha or whatever will come. That's the difference between success and fame or popularity. So once you are level-headed and you keep your head on your shoulders, then it's a very good place to be. This is the best time to make music. People say that times are so tough, and there is corona, and that we have imprisoned. Lot of people on Twitter said, lot of trolls, they said people are dying, and why are you making music? I said that because you look at my music perhaps as entertainment. I look at my music as something that goes beyond entertainment and touches people's lives.
Beautiful.
My song may not prevent the virus from affecting somebody, but my song can make them feel better. My song may prevent them from going out of their house and actively catching corona. So there is a lot of scope of music that runs beyond entertainment.
No, it will definitely help them with fighting corona also, because your songs will make them happy. It gets rid of their fear, their anxiety, which will build the immunity automatically.
Absolutely.
And that is the only thing that can really fight this thing right now without until the vaccine or whatever.
I'm a great believer in music.
True. So nowadays, one of my students who is a music teacher, Harshal Pulekar, fabulous singer. So he says that, when he had to learn music, he had to do riyaz for like hours on end. And for like months, the guru will put them only on singing just do nothing.
That's
He says nowadays people can't be with it for more than a few days. You say, come on, teach me some song, teach me something.
Right.
So what do you think is the role of tapasya in this sadhana of yours?
It never ends. It just doesn't end, because if you just keep on looking at the temporariness of things, that you sing a song and then it'll come in some film and then you'll get famous, then it's going to get over in that 5-10 minutes.
Right.
But then you'll get depressed, then you'll feel, it's like, you know, I've seen a lot of great people who are eccentric, and I have tried to analyze why they behave so erratically, or why are they so eccentric. I've realized that it's the problem with genius. You know, they have got, or talent, or whatever, pratibha. What happens is that they are dependent on something that is outside. That stroke of genius or that pratibha will, you know, bless them. Now, if it blesses once, she is a fickle mistress. You know, she won't wait for you to invite her and come. She will come and go as she pleases. That Aarti Prabhu has written a very beautiful poem in Marathi. Ti yete ani ka jate. She doesn't ask you. You know, she will come and go of her. So at such times, it is much better. So hard work and intelligence are less glamorous, but they are more faithful.
True.
So you should depend on them, not depend on that stroke of talent, you know, that will come and then maybe you. So it's always better to keep yourself on your toes, be alert, and keep on working hard. It never ends. That road never ends. And that itself is the destination. So you feel that right now I'll sing and then I'll get some prize and that is the destination. No, it is not. This is the destination. That this moment is that destination. So like Faiz says, no, hum jahan pahunche kamyab aaye. Faiz thi raah sar basar manzil, hum jahan pahunche kamyab aaye. So it's like that. So you treat every step as something that's to be celebrated, and then success is always there with you.
Beautiful. So normally, how long would you do a riyaz, like every day, or when you have to
I'm
do
not
some?
A singer. I'm not a singer.
But the singers you know, or I know.
Singers I know do riyaz right from 2 hours a day or 1 hour a day to 18 hours a day. So I've seen singers who put in 18 hours a day. But it's this is not something which is time. It's like you know, it's like how they give the homeopathy medicine. You know, that they don't give it for, or even Ayurveda. They don't treat the disease. They treat you.
Yes.
So it depends on that person. It's how much your mind requires. That is your Bhimsen Joshi ji. He put this thing very well in perspective. So somebody asked him, what's the difference between performance and riyaz? So he said, जो आता है उसका performance, जो नहीं आता है उसका रियाज. Very simple, but he put it in beautiful perspective. So that
but उनको तो सब कुछ आता था फिर भी रियाज करते.
Exactly. So as I said, you know, the higher you go, you don't move around in circles. You move around in spirals. So it appears that you have come to the same stage, but actually you have moved a bit higher. Now, when you move a little higher, you see there is more area that comes within your perspective than you would see before.
Right.
So the things to achieve always keep on increasing.
Right.
And it's the same thing with height or depth. If you go deep, then you'll always see that you have not reached the bottom. Actually, there are things, there are pearls underneath the sea, and there will be many levels still.
Yes,
So
yes.
yeah, so that's why they say that it's not a learning music is not for one. It's not a question of one lifespan. There is a Charlie Chaplin movie called Limelight.
Yeah.
In that, he says a beautiful line. He says that amateurs, that's all we are. We don't live long enough to be anything else. So if anybody says I am a professional, no, you are still an amateur, because we really don't live long enough to be anything else. That riyaz, that hard work, that tapasya, whatever you name you call it, it's a lifelong.
Yeah, you have to enjoy that itself, not
you
the
have to enjoy
business.
that itself. Yeah.
You know, my art of living teacher is Khurshid Batliwala. We call him Baba. He's a pianist, you know.
Okay.
Also among other things.
Right.
So he told us this incident of Vladimir Horowitz. He's a pianist, one of the greatest of this century.
Right.
So he used to practice 4 or 5 hours a day, every day. You know,
okay.
Though being at the very top of the world. You know. And there is a quote by Vladimir Horowitz. He said, "If I don't play one day, I get to know. I get to know in my playing.
Yeah.
If I don't play for 2 days consecutively, the critics will know.
Yeah.
And if I don't play for 3 days, my Kamwali Bai will also know."
Correct. That's true. Yeah. That's true.
So it's so important that we stay in touch with our talent through hard work and tapasya, whatever.
Right.
So how much does, let's say, of course, you said you're not only a singer, you compose and you write and all that. But in singing, for example, the role that breath plays for you, breath work or pranayam.
Yeah. Ask me the importance of breath. I've got asthma.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it plays a very vital role. You study Lata Mangeshkar and you'll know the importance of breath management. You can never hear her breathe. In a way, it makes her very celestial because you don't hear that breath at all. And this is a challenge, you find Lata Mangeshkar breathing unless there is an express intention. Her express intention is for you to hear her sound of breath.
Right.
So that is very essential, that control over breath and how it leads to sometimes very funny moments also. Now in classical music, it's not important that that words are not so important. So they are trying to evolve a design of music. The words are just to provide that impact somewhere. It's like that's the guitarist uses a plectrum. So the plectrum of the vocalist is the words. So to give that impact, and that's all they use the words for.
Yes.
But in that, if you don't know what you're singing, then it leads to very funny consequences. So there is a bandish called go. So everybody in Maharashtra, because they don't get the hang of Hindi so much there, especially in the olden times, like people like Paluskar, V.D. Paluskar, and people like Bhatkhande, they traveled so much to get that knowledge in music. So they really didn't have the time to imbibe even the linguistic flavors. They spent their whole life. So But there was a there is a bandish called Gokul Ga. Now you can't understand what is Gokul Ga. What is Gokul Ga? Gokul Ga. Everybody saying वो Gokul Ga bandish गाएंगे, वो Gokul Ga bandish अच्छी है. तो क्या है ये Gokul Ga? Then when you hear that, what happens is that Gokul Ga पे that sum आती है, so you break it. Okay. Now actually that line is Gokul गांव का छोरा बरसाने की नार. Now this happens because of a different thing, but it can also happen due to bad breath management. Sometimes even best of singers, and you should study the best of singers, face that problem. So for example, I've seen both Lata Mangeshkar and Mohammad Rafi singing "Ehsan tera ho ga mujh par." So that ho comes in one part of the line and ga comes in the. So maybe the right way to sing was "Ehsan tera ho ga mujh par," and then that hoga comes together. But sometimes it might be just they might have missed it somehow. But that if that breath management is not there, you might miss how you pronounce the words, and it might sometimes it might lead to the distortion of meaning itself.
Right.
Yeah.
So people will say "Ehsan ho wala gana gao."
Yeah, ehsan ho. Ehsan tera ho.
Ho. Very nice. Okay. And can you tell more about your writing, your poetry, and?
Actually, most of my writing these days is blogging or writing something on music or something. Right now I'm doing a series in Marathi called Chanda Uthatale, which literally, as you know, means the melody on the lips. So what I'm doing there is I started off by singing just my own compositions. What happens is people hear the finished product, the songs sung by the singer and arranged with beautiful instruments, recorded in a very professional studio and mastered to the market level. But they don't hear the raw composition which is sung by the composer himself. Now the composer may not be such a good singer, but he is the creator, so he knows that composition inside out. It's like hearing a song by a singer in a paraphernalia of instruments is like booking a hotel on Trivago or some website like Make My Trip or Yatra.com or something like that, and listening from a music composer is like going to that place and hanging out with the local guide and asking him yahan golgappe kahan milte hain. So he knows those lanes and by lanes.
Yes,
so most of the time the listeners miss that rawness. So I started this on my YouTube and my Facebook page, this series. So after 2 songs, somebody said, why don't you speak something about it, your composition? Then I started writing about it also, because just speaking was insufficient. So nowadays I'm writing a lot of it on my blog, and then I'm doing this series on YouTube. Poetry is something that I'm very diffident about. I don't tell people that I write poetry, because there are so many better poets than I am. But I'll sing one piece of poetry that I've written.
Wow.
Okay, and that's to do something that maybe it's the moral of the story that we have been speaking about, to live in that moment, that one moment. रहे साहिलों पे कश्तियां, One, give me a moment. Huh?
Sure, sure.
Okay, yeah. So here it is. रहे साहिलों पे कश्तियां, चलो हम चले मझधार में। रहे साहिलों पे कश्तियां, चलो हम चले मझधार में। कहीं ढल न जाए जिंदगी तूफान के इंतजार में। रहे साहिलों पे कश्तियां, एक पल में सिमटी जिंदगी हो आसमां हर बूंद में। एक पल में सिमटे जिंदगी हो आसमां हर बूंद में। एक गाम हो पूरा सफर हो, एक गाम हो पूरा सफर। एक खुर हो हर अंगार में। रहे साहिलों पे कश्तियां, चलो हम चले मझधार में। तो एक पल में सिमटे जिंदगी हो आसमां हर बूंद में। एक गाम हो, that one step should be, एक गाम हो पूरा सफर। एक खुर, a sun should be there in every spark. एक गाम हो पूरा सफर, एक खुर हो हर अंगार में। रहे साहिलों पे कश्तियां, चलो हम चले मझधार में।
Wow.
But
Wow.
it's just a hobby.
I'm speechless. Any other song with a story or whatever story behind the song would you like to share with us?
There's a lot of stories behind the song. There is, because you know, there is one challenge that music composers, at least I sometimes face. I'm not a pessimist. Okay, like Mark Twain says that there is no sadder sight than a young pessimist. And I'm not one, I've never been one. So I always feel that even when they make dark films and they end on a note of morbidity, I always feel that, okay, there was a time, perhaps in the 70s, that people needed to look at reality in a different way. But today we are facing it. In times of Corona, nobody needs pessimism or cynicism.
Yes.
You know? So I always feel that there should be something which gives you hope.
Right.
Okay. Now, if a writer writes a poem which does not necessarily end in giving hope, the music composer has no right to change the words. Right? But through my music, can I keep that door of hope open? So this is always that fascinates me, that as a music composer, I am not just a courier service for the writer. There is something that I add in between the lines. So when you say that you're reading between the lines, that's my music actually. So I give you some scope to read that between the lines. So there was this Nazm by Ibn Insha, beautifully written. And ए सूरज की दोशीजा किरण, दोशीजा is virgin, ए सूरज की दोशीज़ा किरण, तुमने तो कहा था आओगी, ये अंधी काली रातों का सब चीर अंधेरा आओगी, हाँ लेके सवेरा आओगी. So that whole tone of that poem is like saying that you said, but you didn't keep your promise. Say that promises of hope.
Right.
That hope will come someday. Now you can say that a vaccine on corona will come. You said that it will come. Where is it? There should be some hope in times. These dark times is there, and you never came. So you did fail to keep the promise. So I would hate to end on this note. I'm willing to see that reality. But I'm not willing to accept the end, where I say that there will always be hope and there will be somebody, and I have great faith in humanity and human beings, that there will always be hope. There will never be times. The only time there will be no hope will be the last moment on this earth, which I don't think it will come. People are very eager to have doomsday conspiracies. So in this, what I did, I want to show you. Okay. Without changing the words, I have kept that door for hope open. Okay. So it's ए सूरज की दोशीज़ा किरण, ए सूरज की दोशीज़ा किरण, तुमने तो कहा था आओगी, ये अंधी काली रातों का सब चीर अंधेरा आओगी, हाँ लेके सवेरा आओगी. ऐ सूरज की दोशीज़ा किरण, तुम कौन से दर्द का दरमा थी, तुम आती तो क्या बुझ जाती, ये प्यास हमारे होठों की, ये प्यास हमारे सीने की, ये प्यास बदन की चाहत की. ऐ सूरज की दोशीज़ा किरण, ऐ सूरज की दोशीज़ा किरण, तुम आ जाती तो क्या होता, दिल फिर भी यूं ही तन्हा होता, तुम आ जाती तो क्या होता, दिल फिर भी यूं ही तन्हा होता, इन प्यासों का प्यासा होता, ये जैसा है वैसा होता, या मुमकिन है इतना होता, ये तुमसे लिपट रोया होता, ये तुमसे लिपट रोया होता. ऐ सूरज की दोशीज़ा किरण, ऐ सूरज की दोशीज़ा किरण, तुमने तो कहा था आओगी, ये अंधी काली रातों का सब चीर अंधेरा आओगी, तुमने तो कहा था आओगी, हाँ लेके सवेरा आओगी, तुम आओगी, तुम आओगी, तुम आओगी, तुम आओगी. Without
Wow.
changing a word of what Ibn Insha has written, I decided that I'll end it on a note of hope.
Yes, on a high. I too believe in that, whether
Yes,
it's a movie or something, a happy ending.
right.
Our Upanishads have also said, Satyameva Jayate, the truth and goodness will finally
Eventually
triumph.
win. Yeah.
Yeah, eventually. In fact, satsang, we say is that company which uplifts you know. So yes, definitely make them experience the sadness and whatever.
Yes, yes.
But
That's the truth of
end it
life.
on a, yeah. You leave them with that hope and that faith. That
Yeah.
is true.
However, dark times come, flowers will continue to bloom, and
Yes.
there will be the melodious sound of the stream.
Hmm.
Uh, in the story of civilization,
Hmm.
Will Durant has written a beautiful line. He says that what is civilization? So he's talking about that, and he says that there is a river flowing between two banks,
Hmm.
and that river consists of lot of bloodshed.
Hmm.
There is blood flowing through that river. It consists of bloodshed. It consists of tyranny by kings and soldiers, and you'll find treachery and
Hmm.
violence and a lot of blood there. But on the
Hmm.
banks, people build homes,
Hmm.
they make love,
Hmm.
they copulate, they have children, they raise their children, they
Hmm.
sing songs, they grow crops.
Hmm.
So civilization is the story of these two banks. Historians are
Hmm.
cynics because they look only at the river.
River.
Yeah. So these are
Wow.
the banks. I always feel that we musicians are those people on those banks. We are not in the river, maybe.
It is so important, art and
Very,
music.
very beautiful. Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
In fact, in Sanskrit also it is said, na kavya shastra vinodena, kalo
yes.
gacchati dhimatam. The intelligent people spend their time with poetry
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
discussing
That's true. That's
wisdom
true. Yes.
and laughter. And we had all of that today.
Yes, yes, yes. And
Thank you
so,
so much.
thank you,
Really, we
thank you,
we
Dinesh.
we
It
will
was
miss
so.
Hamsika ji.
I know I miss her too. She is actually the life of any mehfil that we have.
Uh-huh. We should meet again
We
sometime
will,
so that.
we will definitely. And I do follow you on Twitter, so I'm in connection of what you're doing and what you say. So
Thank you.
thank you so much for having us here. And thanks to your team as well, Amit and Abhiram, and so all of them. Thank you so much for
Good.
having us here.
And I would heartily invite you to our ashram, Bangalore
We
Ashram
will
of the
come
Art of
definitely,
Living.
and on behalf of Hamsika also, thank you all.
Okay. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.